Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishnayos Erevin, Perek Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishnah Ches, Mishnah 8. I'd like to dedicate this morning's learning in memory of Zelig Zeb Zalman Tudris, Bill Rubin, Alav Shalom, a very cherished member and friend of ours from years back. Our learning should be a schus and aliyah for his neshama.
Amen.
Okay. So we continue the discussion about treating the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah like two separate days or one long day. And here are some other ramifications of that argument. Rabbi Yehuda also said, Masna adav ala kalkala b'yom tov rishon. A person can attach a condition to a basket on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, v'oichla b'shein, eat it on the second day. That means like this. You have this basket of fruit. It's tevel. It's tevel. The halacha is you cannot separate truma on Yontif or Shabbos. If you have tevel, you have grain that nothing was separated from it, or it's in a state that you're not allowed to eat it until you finish separating things from it. You cannot separate the trumas and the maasros on Shabbos or Yontif because it's like fixing something. These foods were not edible, you're not allowed to eat them, and now you are doing something to make them edible. And that's like considered, that's similar to fixing a utensil. And therefore the Chachamim said, you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos or on Yontif. So here you have this person, he has this basket of tevel, and it's the first day of Rosh Hashanah. So now, what does he do? What does he do to be able to make this edible? Now, clearly, if it's Yontif, he can't do it. If it's not Yontif, then he could do it. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, you can go ahead on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, make the following condition. Separate trim on the following condition. You say, if today is, meaning on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, he says, and let's remember, according to Rabbi Yehuda, we don't look at it as one long day. We look at it as two separate days. We look at it as 2 days. One of them is really Rosh Hashanah. One is not Rosh Hashanah. But because we don't know which one, we have to treat. It's not like not like the second day of Yontif and Galus, but at least the first day is being kept because maybe it's going to be Rosh Hashanah, maybe not. And the second day could come out being Rosh Hashanah. So the person does it like this. He takes that basket of tevel and he separates a certain amount that would be, let's say, truma. And he says like this. If today is not Yontif, then I'm separating truma right now. And what I just separated is it's going to be truma for the rest of the food in here. It's going to make it edible. Think of truma, maasros, whatever he has to take off. But he basically separates an amount of food of the tevel to act as the trumas and the maasros. And he says, if today is not Yontif, then I am separating trumas and maasros, and it's being done. If it's not Yontif, then I'm doing nothing. I don't want it to work. Because, to separate Shemus and Maasros and Yontif.
I mean, if it is Yontif,
what I say, if it is Yontif today, then I don't want it to be work. Then I don't want him doing to work as anything. Mm-hmm. I've just maybe physically separated some stuff, but it doesn't make a difference. I'm not doing anything. So if it's not Yontif today, I'm separating Shemus and Maasros. If it is Yontif today, I'm doing nothing. The next day, he says like this. He says, if today is Yontif, then what I did yesterday was Trumas and Maasros, right? Mm-hmm. And if today is not Yontif, because yesterday was Yontif, then that which I separated yesterday should now be Truma. Because physically, on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, he made the separation.
You did the physical.
Right? Now again, but on the first day, so if it wasn't Yontif, then he separated Truma. If it was Yontif, he didn't do anything. But the separation was made. Not that it counted as anything if it was Yontif. The next day, the second day of Rosh Hashanah, right? In that situation, he's going to say, look, if today is Rosh Hashanah, if today is Yontif, then yesterday was not Yontif, and what I did yesterday worked. And if yesterday was Yontif, but today is not Yontif, then that portion that I separated Yontif, today I want it to act as Truma. And then I can eat it on the second day.
Right. But you don't have to physically do anything on the second day.
No.
What you did on the first day.
Right. The second day, if you're making a Truma the second day, you don't want to go separating it that day. You know? But basically you're wait a second. Right. So if today is Yontiv, I'm not making Shemus and Ma'asris. It was done yesterday. Yeah. If yesterday was Yontif, I'm sorry. So if today is Yontif and yesterday wasn't Yontif, yesterday Shemus and Ma'asris were made. If yesterday was Yontif and today is not Yontif, right? Then I'm doing it today. Then I'm declaring it today, and it's not Yontif. It's not a problem. So that's what a person can do, according to Rabbi Yehuda.
Is this prayer?
Nope, nothing to do with it. V'chein beitza shanol de berishin. The same thing. There's another halacha. If an egg was laid on Yontif, that's the halacha. It's muksa, because it wasn't ready for use when Yontif came. Okay, so now you have an egg that was laid on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Tiyachal b'sheni. You could eat on the second day, because again, if the first day was Yontif and the second day is the next day, or the next day, we're talking about. No, it's Rosh Hashanah. So I'm sorry. If it was laid on the first day, so if the first day is Yontif, the next day is not Yontif. You can eat it. It's the day after. If it comes out that yesterday was weekday when it was laid and today's Yontif, no problem either.
No problem.
So therefore, according to Rabbi Yehuda's approach to the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, as each one, it's a doubt which one is Rosh Hashanah or not. So these things are possible because each day, only one of them is really Rosh Hashanah. But the Chachamim did not agree. The Chachamim say that the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah are considered one long day, as we explained yesterday, because they consider the first day of Rosh Hashanah was always kept as Rosh Hashanah, even if you knew it wasn't going to be Rosh Hashanah, you still kept it as Rosh Hashanah, you still kept it as Yontif Midrabanan, and therefore both days are Yontif, and since both days are Yontif, they are considered one long day, and if they're one long day, so number one, if the egg was laid on the first day of Yontif, it's the same day on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, it's the same thing as the next day on Rosh Hashanah. And you're not going to be able to make these conditions with the Truma because at the end of the day, the whole day is Yontif. From beginning to end, it's Yontif. And if beginning to end it's Yontif, you can't separate the Shumas and the Maasros. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
I think you said. So therefore.